Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. We are back. We're going to be talking about the Indiana down ballot races that occurred on Tuesday, the 7th. Anyway, it's Victory Day in Eastern Europe and Russia, so kudos to them. It's always a good day to acknowledge freedom and democracy, actual freedom and democracy that we actually um saved during that day, and we shouldn't be replacing it with fake propaganda that the left wing media likes to basically replace it with. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with the 2024 Indiana elections, starting off with the United States Senate. It's pretty simple and explanatory. We can basically project that Jim Banks has won the nomination. Apparently, he won 100%, but people went out and voted for him anyway. That's a good sign. And that's the thing. Trump underperformed because, as you know, let's take a look at how much he underperformed, how much he got at the end of the day. Let's see. Okay, we are not having any sort of link to the Republican primaries, but let's take a. We'll have to search it up. That's fine. "2024 Republican primaries. Indiana. Yeah, 78%. Nikki Haley got 128,000. And but the thing is, Trump's running unopposed. There are people that are pretty opposed, pretty upset that Trump underperformed, like Real American. There are people that are like, okay, it is what it is. Trump is running unopposed, and that's red eagle politics. So I guess it's a matter of perspective. Um, People say, oh, these are warning signs for Trump. Well, Trump's running unopposed, and this is an open primary, and Joe Biden's running unopposed. Literally, he's running unopposed. Marianne Williamson and even the withdrew candidates aren't even on the ballot. So what's the point of voting for him while you can go and vote for Nikki Haley to sabotage Trump? So that's something that I think Real American isn't really taking into account. Like, seriously, there's going to be Democrats are mischievous. They're going to do that. And what's the point of voting for someone in a primary, which you most likely will end up losing or end up winning anyway? So yes, Jim Banks winning 100% of the popular vote, 461,000 votes across the state of Indiana. Not much, but honestly, who would go and circle I voted, obviously. I voted in elections, and there are like my mayor, she often runs unopposed. I'm thinking, what's the point of circling her name if she's the only one on there on the ballot? So I just skip it. So that's what a lot of people end up doing. So there's and also the Democratic primary, you'll see Valerie McRae ended up winning the nomination, 68% of the popular vote, 121,000 votes against Mark Carmichael. And it's kind of interesting. I never thought a psychologist could defeat a former state representative and the nominee for Indiana's 2nd congressional district in 1996. I mean, Michael Carmick, whatever his name, he must be. I mean, he's up there in age, 74. He's not that old, but I'm guessing the theory is he's been gone and out of the picture for a very long time, and now he's saying, "I'm back in the race. I'm back. I'm back in the picture again." It's kind of unexpected. And while you got Valley McRae, and if I was a Democrat, I would totally not vote, because I think if I was a Democrat, I would want to know who would end up winning. in the Senate election. That would be more an experienced individual, individual who has been and not in Congress, but in the state legislature, and that would be Mark Carmichael, whatever your name is. But he ended up winning extraordinary by a huge percentage of 68%. She ended up, because it's a female, ended up winning by 68%. That's almost 70%. I would never expect. Look at that. This was clearly an upset, guys. Clearly an upset victory. Because more money risen. You got 111,000 and $14,000 risen by Valerie McRae. I personally think that Valerie knew she had not the upper hand, but the bottom of the picture, and she said, you know what, I'm going to campaign everywhere and make my name known. And Mark just said, you know what, I'm just going to sit down, chillax, and not really worry about it. Why should I worry? Because I'm state legislator. There's no way this girl can win. And guess what happened? Valerie McRae ended up winning 68%. That should have been Mark Carmichael. It's Carmichael. Okay. Think of Michael, but put the word car in front of it. That's how easy way to think of it. But yes, huge upset against Valerie McRae. I don't know if I probably had I probably had Carmichael. I did a poll probably with Carmichael, a RCP average with Carmichael, but I don't know. But then again, incumbent Republican. Let's take a look at the Republican governor's race. Yes, Mike Braun. He's technically nominated now. Jennifer McCormick. Should be easy. Yes, Mike Braun running for the governor's race. And he's technically the nominee, 39.6% against Suzanne Crouch, who is the 52nd Lieutenant Governor of Indiana. She's currently incumbent. Who knows? She could be a rhino governor. Yeah, she was appointed by Mike Pence, so definitely has good approval there. But I would definitely merge her with the establishment. Definitely here. Obviously, she was one of the first female lieutenant governors of Indiana. But you'll see, according to this map, Mike Braun performed very well in all over Indiana. And you'll see Crouch performed well in more of the Ohio River Valley. These two counties right here are more for Crouch. Chambers won Marion County, aka Indianapolis. And I don't know Brad Chambers. Is he more of a rhino or what? People say Mike Braun's a rhino. Well, I think Mike Braun doesn't honestly. I think he's a very good guy. He's nowhere near a rhino. And I want to clarify that. Right Eagle Politics agrees with that. Because a lot of people criticize this man for cheerleading BLM during the riots. And then he went on Tucker Carlson's show, and he kind of got, I wouldn't schooled more, I wouldn't say schooled, but more informed. more about the BLM, what the motive is. And ever since BLM, he's been more of a more conservative leaning individual. I wouldn't call him a neocon at all. He was definitely more of a conservative figure. He's definitely been a good figure. He's extremely pro-life, very optimistic for traditional values. I definitely think Mike Braun, I think that's his name, but yeah, he is definitely an individual we need. Compared to the incumbent governor, as a joke. Incumbent governor has been a star and a propagandist in trying to get people to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Eric Holcomb. There's no reason. I mean, Eric Holcomb basically destroyed his career during COVID. He basically said, "Oh, get a vaccine. It's gonna go get vaccinated." Well, I mean, Donald Trump said, "Go get vaccinated," right? That's his vaccine. But he was promoting a vaccine way after COVID-19, like 2020, like early 2023, late 2022. This guy continued to be a propagandist. He is basically a huge establishment figure, pro Mike Pence. He has endorsed Pence in the presidential election. I don't know if he even supports Trump. I I doubt it 100%. But this guy is definitely an establishment figure for sure. Yes. Yeah, he even vetoed an HEA bill passed by the Indiana General Assembly that would prohibit transgender people, basically, from prohibiting in-state sanctioned girls' sports. Wow. Okay. I'm reading more on the abortion. But yeah, you know how women sports are being attacked these days. I mean, realistically, they think, oh, it's discrimination being trans, being a transgender person. Well, guess what? You made the decision to be trans. While you made the decisions to be trans, oh, no one's stopping you. I mean, to a point. But you made that decision. You walk in and saying, hey, you know what? I most likely won't be won't be able to play in the female section or the person I'm transitioning to, but that's okay because you should be expecting that. But we have people going in there anyway thinking, "Oh, I'm so entitled. I want to go and play in the women's sports area because I identify as a woman." That's just pure entitledness and arrogance. So, looking at this, I think we can safely move on. Jennifer McCormick, former Republican, uh, Indiana superintendent of public instruction, most likely a rhino. She has joined the Democratic Party much before, like 2 years before, uh, 2 years before actually running for governor. But yeah, this lady's a pushover for sure. She won unopposed. No votes are unknown. People most likely didn't vote for her because Democrats don't trust a former Republican unless it's Charlie Crist. Then you get away with it. Then the last race of the topic is going to be the Attorney General's race. And it looks like we actually have these. It looks like we have it by nomination. Todd Ricotta had the Republican convention. I think, okay, so it looks like they didn't really have much primaries. Didn't have any primary. The Republican and Democratic conventions will take place on July 14th, 2024. That's pretty much, um, yeah, I don't think they do primaries. But if you guys are aware, I'm not going to look up, but we can check. We can check. But you got, governors. Yep, New York Times doesn't have it. But what do you guys think with our results on the board? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.